Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a young miller named Jack. When Jack's father passed away, he left him with nothing but a cat, a very clever cat with sleek ginger fur and twinkling green eyes. Jack sighed, for he wished for gold and riches, but all he had was this cat. "Fear not, my dear master," the cat said, bowing deeply. "Give me a pair of boots and a sack, and you shall see I can make you a wealthy man." Surprised and curious, Jack obliged, and though poor, spent his last coins on a dashing pair of leather boots for the cat, who henceforth became known as Puss in Boots. Puss was not just any ordinary cat, he had a plan. With his shiny boots and a clever mind, Puss trotted off to the king's castle carrying a sack filled with carrots and cabbages. Upon arrival, Puss laid down his sack on the soft grass of the royal gardens and hid behind the bushes. Soon enough, a family of rabbits started hopping over, sniffing the sweet scent from the sack. With a swift, graceful motion, Puss pulled the sack closed, trapping the rabbits inside. He then carried his catch to the king. "Your Majesty," announced Puss, bowing low, "I present these rabbits to you as a gift from my master, the Marquis of Carabas." The king, intrigued by this mysterious marquis and delighted by the gift, accepted graciously. Day after day, Puss in Boots continued to bring the king gifts, always claiming they were from the noble Marquis of Carabas. There were plump partridges, fine fish, and on each occasion, the king became more and more eager to meet the generous marquis. One day, Puss heard that the king was going for a ride in his carriage with his lovely daughter, Princess Ella. The clever cat hurried to Jack. "Master," he purred, "today is the day. Follow my lead, and all will be well. Go down to the river and pretend you are bathing. Leave everything else to me." Jack did as he was told, and while at the river, Puss saw the king's carriage approaching. He began to shout, "Help, help, my master, the Marquis of Carabas is drowning." The king, recognizing the name, ordered his guards to save Jack. Wrapped in fine royal clothes, Jack was then invited to ride in the king's carriage. As they rode toward the castle, Puss raced ahead. He encountered some peasants and said, "If anyone asks, tell them this land belongs to the Marquis of Carabas. If you do, I promise you will be rewarded." Fearing the whip of the rich lord's servant, each group of workers agreed. The king, immensely impressed by the vast lands owned by this supposed marquis, saw a good match in Jack for his daughter. Finally, Puss in Boots arrived at a great castle owned by a wicked ogre. The ogre could transform into anything he wished, and when Puss confessed he was sorry the ogre couldn't become something as small as a mouse, the ogre transformed to prove him wrong. Quick as a flash, Puss pounced, swallowing the mouse ogre whole. When the king's carriage arrived at the castle, Puss welcomed them warmly, saying, "Welcome to the castle of my master, the Marquis of Carabas." The king was so impressed by Jack's apparent wealth and charm that he offered Jack his daughter's hand in marriage, and so, dear children, Jack married the beautiful Princess Ella, and they lived happily ever after. Thanks to the clever tricks of Puss in Boots, who enjoyed many delicious feasts and soft pillows for the rest of his days. Remember this tale when you think all looks bleak, for cleverness and kindness can bring about the happiest of endings. The end. Please subscribe our channel for more videos.